Hi there. I am ready for chat 4, session 4 of my drawing with spoons video. Yesterday I did this detailed study of the spoon, as detailed as I could get in 10 minutes. As I was looking at it yesterday, I'm going, wow, I want to do a really detailed study because I got circles in for the grapes and a little bit of shading, but not as much as I really am seeing and would have liked. That's where it takes a little bit more time. But I am happy with it. I didn't sign it. I'm going to sign it here. And I did that actually on 3/17/2015. I'm just going to put spoon handle study. Now I still have this one to do. What I found out while I was doing this one, that this page does not have any type of a sealer on it. And so when I went to smooth out my stabilo lines with my brush, I was able to get some shading, but also when I applied my distress stain, here, I used Faded Jeans. The paper just soaked up that ink, whereas I was wanting to paint with it more. So what I did last night, I was going to apply some glazing medium on this surface, because I'm going to work on this page, really. I was going to do that, but I decided to do it on the opposite pages over here first, and do another study today. So that's what I'm going to work on today. This has glazing medium on both pages, and I think you can see some of the shine. See how it shines there? That's because I have a glossy glazing medium on it. And it doesn't seem to be sticky, and I think after I get my media, my drawing material and everything on there, I think that will help with the stickiness. Because this is a glossy surface now. So we'll see. We'll kind of test that out and see how that works too. So I'm not going to work on this yet again today. I'm going to do some more studies of my spoon. I thought that I would study detailed studies where I'm working a little bit higher on this side of the page, and that's probably all I'll get done today because with 10 minutes, it severely limits me. And I have to chat. And I found out yesterday in my video that my chat was almost as long as my drawing because my video ended up being 20 minutes. So I may do a couple of more videos where I am just studying this area of the spoon and this area before I actually get into doing that. And I want to see how my media reacts on this glossy surface. Because as we saw yesterday, this area right here, it just soaked right into the page. And of course now I've glossed over that, so it's a permanent part of the page. I'll have to either cover that up or do something. But see, it just soaked right through. And I wasn't able to move this media around on my page. And I'm thinking that I'll be able to move my media around a little bit more. Today I'm going to use my Faber-Castell watercolor pencil, and I found my black soot. Whoops, that's not it. Distress stain. And I'm going to study. I think I'll just put my spoon this way. And I want to study making some marks this way. And maybe some of the shadow in here. I'm still going, I'm not sure. I want to somehow represent that space behind there, but I'm not sure, other than the shape, how that's going to happen. Unless I put something behind it. Like my pencil. If I put a pencil behind there, you can easily see that, yes, there is some space behind here. That's something to consider. Otherwise, it just looks like, as I was pointing out on my first drawing, it looks just like it's a flat oval on the paper. I'm still dealing with that. So here again, I think this time I'm just going to leave my spoon there. I need to set my clock. Today is Wednesday, and it's 8:48. And here again, I don't know how much into 48 it is, so I'm going to make it 8:49 would be, and 10 minutes would be 8:59. Okay, my clock is set, so I'm going to get busy because the very first thing I want to do, and I have my light source. I have a light source coming from my right and a light source coming from my left, and I do have my overhead light on, which kind of gives, I think, gives it that spot. So I am just right up in here. I think I'm just going to draw lightly sketch in my oval of the spoon handle here. Now I do find that it's a little bit harder to draw on this glazed surface with I'm having to press down just a bit more. To get my media on there. And then I am just going to experiment here with, let me try just painting. Let's just do some experiments. See how that media moves on this page? But the thing of it is, it's sitting on top. It's sitting right on top of my media, so it's not soaking in, so that's something to deal with too. But I'm much happier with how I can move it around. And I can even, I suppose, let me reach over here. Let me reach over this sponge. It's a little dictionary page there. See, I can use this sponge to get some of those highlights, to lift some of those highlights off of there. So the question is, do I want to glaze my pages or not? I think I'm much happier working on a glazed surface. Let's see what it does with my fountain pen. I gotta get my fountain pen going here. Put it on the back. Oh yeah, I like how it makes that line. And I also like how I can just kind of touch my paintbrush to the top of my distress stain and get enough on there to make some marks. This has a very defined with my sponge. Holding 3 things in my hand at once. And I can kind of sponge it out if I want. So in essence, I'm kind of painting with my drawing, with my sponge here. Let's go back to my fountain pen. Now sometimes I found that, yes, I'm working on a slick surface, so my pen sometimes kind of slips. But you know what? That's okay. I would probably have to put a fixative on this when I'm finished, because the minute this gets wet, it's going to be wiped out. The spoon kind of flares like this and kind of comes like this. And then I'll just kind of draw some lines in here. Goes into its little grapey shapes. There's a little fancy in here, and then it starts out with its next shape in here. I think I'm just going to bring down that way. But see, I still don't feel like I have the sense of space under that. I don't have this sense of that space like I would like. But I also don't have shadow. Let's put some shadow in here. And the shadow kind of comes this way. Not too much of a shadow. Now I can see it. I don't know if you can see it, and this may help the sense of space. Well, this spoon is resting on the paper, but very dark shadow right here that extends out here. But I also have a darker shadow closer to the spoon, and it gets lighter again out there. So maybe I can pull some of this out a little. I'm using 3 things to draw with, and now it has a very defined white area and a very defined dark edge right in there, and the same way here. And see how that distress ink is just resting right on that glazed surface. It's not soaking in. And also I can see the strokes of my brush where I put that glaze. I can very much see it. Well, that tells me I'm done. I'll turn this off. That's as far as I got in 10 minutes. Am I happy with it? That's the story. I'm not really happy with it. Representing this spoon is going to take, it's going to be a challenge, believe me. I think I want a little bit more. And I think I want to pick up some, I don't want too much, but I want to pick up a little for the highlight here. And it's got some highlight off of the spoon there. See how easy it is to take this off once I put it on? Let's put some very definite dark lines on the handle here. And I don't think I've represented the curvature of the spoon here. This handle curves up. I don't know if I've got that so well. But heck, I've only done it in 10 minutes. And I still feel like this surface in here is very flat. So you can see that I'm still working with things. I don't feel as if I've really accomplished the depth that I want in here. Just self-critiquing. My paintbrush is very wet. If I can get a drier brush here. So I'm wanting to put a darker area in there, and in this case, I'm wanting it to soak in, and it's really not doing that. It's puddling. So I'm going to leave this just like this. I'm still deciding whether or not I want to glaze this. I might tomorrow. Both of these pages are glazed. I might switch over to this page, which is not glazed, and try another study. I'm not totally unhappy with this because you learn. Every time you work on something like this, you learn. My media is resting on top of the glaze. Now, I like how I can paint. I did not feel like I could paint on this page. Eventually, we'll get back over to this page. Thank you for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.